Hello, my storytelling friends. I am back again to talk to you about another story by Stacy product that I love called Short Story. And you see, I have identified them here. All right. I have two here that I want to show you today. And I'm very excited to bring you this next step in the storytelling process. So we've already talked about the stories I love. And now today I want to talk to you about short story. I'm not necessarily doing these in the order that Stacy Julian published them in, but I'm doing them in an order that I think makes the most sense for the people that I know. All right, so when we talked about stories I love, we were focused in on one particular photo that really brought some very strong feelings or memories to you. So the difference between that and short story is the number of pictures. All right, so short story involves a lot of pictures. And I just want to show you here how mine looks. Let's bring this in a bit. Okay, so now it's based on, and I hope this doesn't scare you away, but this whole process is based on your intuition. So you're going to throw out some ideas, preconceived ideas that you have about how you need to scrapbook all of these pictures. And you're going to go through a process asking yourself some questions in advance that you will think about while you're looking at the photos and working with them. So that by the time you have finished this process, your story that goes along with all these photos will have almost written itself. It really is an amazing process if you give it a chance, all right? Now, there will be a few times, I guarantee you, especially the first time that you do it, that you will not feel comfortable. All right, I experienced that myself. A couple of times when Stacy was teaching us this process, I'm like, what? So anyways, you just have to relax and trust that the process works. So here's my album. All right, and it's called My Family. Okay, and you can see I have a lot of photos jam-packed in here, at least 2 on every page, sometimes more. I'm not going to say much about the pictures just yet. Now you'll see that there is not a lot of journaling as you go through. There is the odd time that I take a moment when something really jumps out at me to write, but not much. Okay, and you can see these pictures are of so many different people. This is just my family. All right, my extended family, my close family. And even just now watching, as I'm flipping through this, it just brings back so many memories of when I put this book together. I felt so proud of myself when I was done. I'd honored the process and it did not disappoint. Okay, so now here's the very cool thing about these pictures. This is the story that goes with all of them. Okay, and it says, my family is a bit odd. To the outside observer, they may seem a bit obvious. That may seem a bit obvious. Every family is a bit odd, but I have a specific reason. I have specific reasons for saying this about my family. The age thing sometimes is quite askew, which means that oddities were created, like the fact that my oldest son, Marshall, is closer in age to my youngest brother, Colin, than I am. Another odd thing that has happened is throwing a blonde person into the mix. Until I met Barry, my first husband, everyone was dark-haired, and in some cases, dark-skinned. But since Barry and I had children, blondies abound. 2 of my children, Marshall and Daniel, partnered with blondies as well. Now I am surrounded by blonde grandchildren, and we're Métis. My family has always made a big collective ew sound when I asked for a hug. But when I look through these photos, I see they're all faking it. In just about every picture, the groups of people are touching somehow. The biggest oddity is the genuine smiles on everyone's faces. Well, almost everyone's. Family feuds abound in my family. Fights are a regular part of our get-togethers. But if you look closely at these pictures, you can see just how close everyone really is and how much we enjoy being together. Maybe we aren't odd after all. All right, so you see how through this process, and it's step by step, just like the stories that I love, helped me through a series of questions to put these photos together in such a way that I was able to write a story about all of them generally in just a short period of time. Now, there were a couple of places, like I said, where something jumped out at me, and I did add a little bit of journaling. All right, but for the most part, I did not. Okay, so that's one example. So, and this is about my family. Now, here is another one. Okay, and this is the second type of album that you can get, which is the stripes. Okay, this one is about birds in my backyard. All right, so again, I love taking pictures of birds. All right, and so I have just done so many. We're so fortunate here to live in an area in Northwest Calgary that has so many places to see different birds. So anyways, here we go. Now on this one, I ended up going back after I was done and creating a glossary. All right, it just made sense here. And then I numbered all of the bird pictures. Okay, and you can see them all here. Now, does the feel of this look similar to the first book? And do the papers look similar? Because they are. Every album comes with the same type of papers and embellishments. And look at how well they work for these types of pictures. It's pretty stunning, really. Again, 2, 3, maybe even 4 pictures on each 6x6 page. All right, I will walk you through the whole process of learning how to trim your photos. Yes, indeed, trim your photos. All right, you can see here I have 3 2x2 photos. And then down here I have a 2x6 photo. That's so cool. And the embellishments, all the same. Okay, and now I'm just going to jump to the back and I'm going to tell you my story. Well, not exactly my backyard, more like my city. Over the years, Stephen and I have been so lucky to be a part of the calm and serenity that comes with spending time in Calgary's parks, green zones, and even our own home. The big poplar tree just outside our kitchen window has been a stopover for more birds than I can count, including a family of crows with several babies and another of chickadees. To see a hawk gliding through the air above us in search of its next meal or a great blue heron taking wing always leaves me with a sense of peace. Listening to all the sounds that come with them, the screeches, chirps, caws, tap taps, and songs never cease to fill my heart with joy and wonder. All right, so you see how that story wrote itself. As I was going through all of my photos, I was cropping them down, putting them on pages, organizing the pages. And by the time I got to the end, I knew what I wanted to say in my story after thinking about all the questions that Stacy poses before you start working with your photos. All right, so that is my second book. Now I want to show you what comes in a kit. All right, you get your album, and there's one of 3. I'm sorry, I do not have the third pattern here. It's a lagoon one, lagoon colored, which is this color right here. Okay. And then, now that's the only thing different in these kits is the album that you choose. All right, everything else that comes in the kit is the same for all 3 kits. So you get your package of 6x6 memory protectors. And I have to tell you that if you want to, you can add more. All right, this is just a start for you. And then You get all these pages of patterned paper, 6 by 6 with a zip strip attached. Okay, and they're all double-sided. Okay, they're really a lot of fun. And then these are your base pages. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab them. Okay, you get lots and lots of base pages to work with. They're all pre-cut and ready to go at 6 by 6. And then you get a variety of die cuts to work with. Now they're all, oops, and sorry, I missed this. They're all in black and white, and that's for a reason, so that these will coordinate with any colors that you might have in your photos. All right, and then you have a sticker sheet with your alphabets and your numbers and your punctuation, if you decide to use them. You get a roll of black and white gingham ribbon. You get some white twine and a package of black and white dots. All right, so there's lots and lots of dots. All right, so with everything together in here, all you add is your pictures, your trimmer, some adhesive, and then a pen to write your story. And that's it. Okay, this workshop will be a little bit different than the first workshop in that it's a bit longer because we have more photos to go through. However, I know that you are going to love this process. Maybe even more than the stories I love. I don't know, but it's a fun way of putting together a lot of photos in a very short period of time into one album. So please stay tuned for all of the details with my next virtual workshop coming up for short story, and I hope you'll be joining us.